All right, so you've just completed the 4 views of an object. You've drawn the perspective drawing, you've drawn the cabinet drawing, you've drawn the isometric drawing, and you've done orthographic projection. Now what do? Well, we got to wrap it all up, we got to package it, and we got to send it to Mr. Hale. How do we do that? So we're going to review that once more and follow along. This is how you're going to send it to me so that I can grade it. So we've drawn these 4 drawings. There's perspective, cabinet, isometric, orthographic. Remember, this area right here is called model space. This is our drawing area, and model space is infinite. You know, it goes on forever. What we need to do is we need to create paper space, and it's from paper space that we print. How do we do that? Well, we go down here and we start doing our tabs. Now, we could have it arranged like this, and I could do individual sheets of each drawing, but maybe it would be maybe a good idea would be to arrange these a little bit different. Maybe we can fit all 4 on the same drawing. So before we do our paper spaces, let's arrange these a little bit better. So we're going to take this and we're going to move it, and I'll put it right there. I'm going to kind of see these grids. I'm going to use these grids to kind of line things up a little bit so that we're, you know, kind of doing things pretty good, I guess. And we'll put that right there. Move this one here. On that grid, maybe bring it down there. And okay, so we've got these things arranged. I think that'll go pretty good. That should fit on a piece of paper pretty nicely. So we'll go ahead and select the layout here. This is our paper space. And if you remember, we want to make sure that we're setting up the proper drawing area regardless of what appears. So we're going to go ahead and double click out of here, select that square. We're going to delete it. We will type in M view. And when we do that, it asks us to specify a corner. So I will find a corner. I will come down and find the other corner. And there I've got my paper space. Now, again, I'm outside of paper space, so I can manipulate my thumb wheel and it changes the size of, you know, the view. But if I want to get inside paper space, I need to double click inside paper space. Now I'm inside paper space and I can manipulate the objects within paper space. What I want to do is I want to kind of get these centered inside the paper so that I can print them out. So the best way to do that is just highlight them all. So they turn blue, highlight them all. And then if I go to my cardinal points, my north, south, east, west, and I click on top and I double click, wait a minute, and there it centers everything. Well, maybe I can get them a little bit bigger because, you know, in the paper, there's a lot of extra space. So now if I start rolling my thumb wheel, I can change the space of them. Now, as I'm rolling my thumb wheel, it's off center. So if I grab and push in my thumb wheel, I can slide it over until I let it go. So what I'm doing is I'm kind of getting them centered in my paper, and voila, we're good to go. The next thing we will do is we will print them out. Before we print them out, let's go ahead and do this. My layout, let's go ahead and change the name to 4 views of an object. And so now I already know this tab is my 4 views of an object. So now let's go to print. So I'm going to go up here into the application area. I'm going to hit the print button. Remember, we want to convert it into a PDF file. This should already be set up because we did that in a previous time. But if you don't remember how to do that, we want to make sure that from the printer plotter, we're going to select AutoCAD General Documentation. If it's not already selected, General CAD Auto Documentation. The paper size is going to be the Arch D, 36 by 24 inches. You can select that from the list. Do not go 24 by 36. We want a landscape view, not a portrait view. So we're going to hit 36 by 24. And if it's not already named, you add here and you name it your last name and the word sheets. Once that's done, we hit OK. We're going to get another window. We're going to make sure the drawing is named properly. And in this case, we do have 4 views of an object. Why did it go 4 views of an object? Because we named the tab 4 views of the object. But at this point, so that I know it is you, let's go ahead and put your last name. So I've got my last name. We'll do a little underscore. So the name of this is going to be your last name underscore 4 views of an object. I'm saving it within the directory that I named my last name in CAD, and I hit save. And now I've got a PDF that has generated that is showing the 4 views of an object: my perspective, my cabinet, my isometric, my orthographic. This is what is going to be submitted to Mr. Hale for a grade. And again, this looks like what we've got in a paper space, minus the grids. You can turn the grid off if you don't like the grid. So we're down here and see these grids. I can turn it off. I could select a tighter grid maybe if I wanted to, But if you don't want the grids in the paper space, you don't need the grids in the paper space. But there you go. So I've given you all the instructions, all the tools you need to complete those drawings. Good luck.